Hey everybody, it's Miss Samantha. This week on Veggie Time at Home, we're going to be doing some gardening activities. Now, you might be asking yourself, if we're doing some gardening activities, why is Samantha in her dining room? Let me explain. Today, we're going to be doing some gardening from kitchen scraps. So, we'll be propagating different kinds of vegetables and roots that can be found in your kitchen that can then be grown in your house and eventually transplanted into a garden outside. Propagation is the process by which a living organism reproduces itself. Today, what we'll be doing is cutting up some vegetables, placing them in water, which then allows the roots to regrow. All right, so the materials that you'll need for today's activity are some celery, some carrots, not baby carrots, full carrots, some ginger, and I'm going to be using a red potato as well. You'll also want some Tupperwares or glass jars or drinking glasses, and we're going to be using some water. You'll also want some forks, chopsticks, toothpicks, kind of anything that you have in your house that can skewer things. And we're also going to use a chopping knife, so you'll want a caregiver around to help you with that, and you'll need a cutting board. Alright, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to plant our celery. So if you have celery stalk at home, you can just take your knife. You want to cut off the base of the celery stalk, just like this. This is where the celery usually grows up from the ground, and most celery often has like dirt in it still. Then what we're going to do, these you can just leave in their bundle. You just keep it in the fridge like you normally do. And with this stalk, what we're going to do is we're going to fill this Tupperware with water. And then we're just going to plant the base part of the celery in the water. And the water is going to help hydrate the base part of the celery. And over the next couple weeks, you'll probably start to see some little yellow leaves coming out of the top of the celery. Alright, next we're going to get ready to propagate some carrots. So if you just have full carrots, this won't work with baby carrots, but just like full carrots like this, you're going to very carefully cut off the top of the carrot. So there's about a ½ inch to an inch of actual carrot, and then also this top part of the carrot, this little nub up here. So we're going to do 2 of them. And these you're just going to place in shallow water. You want the water to go most of the way up the carrot nub. And so these aren't going to grow full like root carrots. That would require planting seeds in the ground, in soil. But in theory, you should be able to grow carrot tops. So for those of you who don't know, carrots when they grow in the ground have a leafy green top. And it tastes like carrots. You can use it as a nice little herb, you can make it in pesto, you can put it in salad. And so as the carrots sit in this water, over the next few weeks, you'll start to see some more greens sprout. And then you can eat those carrot tops in a salad or in pesto or anything you want. Okay, so now that we've got our carrots in some water and our celery in some water, it's time to get our ginger and potatoes going. One of the big differences between what's happening with the carrots and the celery and what's going to happen with the potato and the ginger is that unlike the carrots and the celery, the potato, in theory, will be able to completely produce a separate potato. So like I said before, the carrots will just be growing new tops, and the celery probably won't have full stalks of celery, but you will have some celery leaves. Potatoes are in a family of plants called tubers, and if you've ever looked at a potato that maybe was like sitting out a bit too long, you'll see that they start to grow these little nubs called eyes. Here is what a potato eye looks like. Often they get kind of longer. This one only has 1, but you do want to aim for a potato that has at least 2 eyes. And so obviously they're not like eyes like our eyes. But this is what allows potatoes to grow and reproduce and become more potatoes. So I was having some technical difficulties, but here we are. I've cut the potato into 2 pieces, and this piece that is going in the water has the eye on it. I have skewered it with 2 chopsticks, and they're kind of at an angle, and so when you set your potato in the water, you can see it's sitting above the water for the most part, but the eye that is on our potato chunk is under the water. And so since the eye is under the water is going to help the eye develop more roots, more tubers, and that way eventually more potatoes can grow. Alright, so now that we've seen the potato eye, I'm just going to show you the rhizome of the ginger. So the rhizome is these pointy parts here, and this is where the ginger shoots continue to grow, where the root gets bigger. So you want them to be fresh. See how they are not covered in this dry skin. You want them to be fresh, and that's what's going to allow the ginger to, similar to the potato, fully become more usable, edible ginger root, as opposed to just leaves or something like that. So yeah, there you go, there's the rhizome of the ginger. Similar to our potato, we're going to be placing our ginger just above some water. Luckily, because ginger is so funkily shaped, it has all these offshoots because of the way it grows. We don't actually have to stab it. We can just kind of slip the chopsticks through some of the little armholes in the ginger. So again, almost full container. This one is just skewered, and here are the rhizomes on the bottom. They're gonna hang into the water, just like that. There we go. And again, the water is gonna help the rhizome to grow and become more parts of root. So here's our kitchen scrap garden, our ginger, potatoes, carrots, celery. I am so excited to see how well these things grow in the next few weeks. Just some little maintenance tips. You're going to want to put these on a windowsill so they get enough sunlight. Remember that plants can turn sunlight into energy through photosynthesis. And so the sun is where they get a lot of energy. You want to leave them on a windowsill or in a sunny spot where they can get that energy to help them grow. You also want to check the water. If it ever gets a little cloudy or discolored, it's not clear anymore, you want to change out the water, and you totally can do that. If you have potatoes or ginger or other root vegetables that do really start to grow, in the spring after the first frost, if you have some potting soil, some dirt, you can go ahead and take it out of the water and plant it in there. I'm hoping to do that with the ginger and potatoes, but again, the carrots and the celery are just going to be leaves, but those will be really fragrant, they're going to smell really good, and they're going to be a nice little snack. Alright, I hope everyone had fun making their kitchen scrap garden. I would love to hear in the comments what kitchen scraps you all used in your garden, and I can't wait to hear some updates in the next few weeks and months about how your gardens are growing.